For all your TCG needs, make sure to check out alphatradingcardgames.com. What's poppin', everybody? It's the Sabro594. Instead of my usual TCG videos, we're going to be talking about my beloved One Piece today and the upcoming Netflix TV series that's happening. I've heard about a live action adaptation of One Piece a couple of years ago, but I didn't keep up with any information. I thought it was going to be like a film or something, just like the shitty Dragon Ball 1, something like that. But I guess they're going bigger. Netflix series, it's going to be a few episodes, I think 10 or 8 episodes. I've seen a bunch of other YouTubers like Giguk, Best Guy Ever, Grant Line Review talking about it. And as a big One Piece fan myself, I wanted to share my thoughts too. Now, traditionally, I think most anime and manga fans know that live action adaptations of almost any anime or manga are not received well. I haven't watched many live action films or adaptations myself, but I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to know that the Dragon Ball adaptation was shit. I didn't watch that, but it's famously shit. King of Fighters, that's not exactly an anime, it's a game series, but it's another sort of medium. They did a live action film, probably knows about. I don't think it's good. The only good ones that I can say worked out, sort of, is the Rurouni Kenshin live action films. I've only watched the first one, but I enjoyed it. They made a couple of others. And Ghost in the Shell, a lot of people don't like it, but I watched it in the cinema actually. It was the last film I watched in the cinema. I kind of enjoyed it. It's not exactly something that I would rewatch again, but I sort of enjoyed it. And keep in mind, I watched the live action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, but I never watched the Ghost in the Shell anime. And I think going into any live action adaptation of a manga series, especially something like One Piece, the only way you're probably going to enjoy it is if you go into it pretending that it's not One Piece, pretending that it's not based on the franchise you know, and just watch it as a standalone TV series, standalone film. Just get the emotion and the involvement out of the original manga and anime series out of there. Now you might say, oh, that's a pretty shitty way to get into it, but I think we all know, I mean, manga, anime, it's a medium that at the end of the day, it's fantasy drawings. It's a fantasy. It's not the same as live action, actual people, and it doesn't really translate well. To go back to Rurouni Kenshin, I think the reason Rurouni Kenshin, the film, ended up kind of solid is because Rurouni Kenshin, it's kind of a realistic manga, you know, based on a specific Japanese period, takes up inspiration from real life events in Japanese history, and it's very realistic. It's pretty much a samurai manga / anime series. Not too many fantasy elements. So that's why it's sort of translated well to a live action film. You know, you got samurai and martial arts films in real life anyway, so it's not so much of a stretch. One Piece though, man, damn, I mean, yeah, it's a pirate series, but there's so many fantasy elements, and from my understanding, they're only gonna base the series on like East Blue events, I think. I mean, at least the main characters are only from the East Blue saga, like the original members from the East Blue. Not even Nico Robin is in it, which is kind of sad. But I mean, from what I understand anyway, from the main characters, it's just Sanji, Nami, Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp. You just can't really capture the magic of the actual manga and anime. I mean, you have to get into it looking at it as a completely new IP, almost like it has nothing to do with the One Piece you know, and just see if you can find a good little film, I guess, that can stand on its own. That's why I say don't expect much from it. I mean, best case scenario is just gonna be solid. And I think everyone knows it's not even gonna come close to the actual One Piece manga and anime. Some of the positive things to mention, I guess, some of the positive aspects is that Ichiro Oda, from what I learned watching the Best Guys Ever video, he did have a lot of involvement. He did say, you know, if I don't approve of something, they're just gonna have to keep changing it and doing it until I approve. I think he apparently had to approve of the actors for the main characters, and he is listed as the producer. But regardless of his involvement, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just won't be able to capture that magic, to capture that fantasy. It's a fantasy at the end of the day. The original One Piece manga, anime, You're just going into an entirely different world. Anime and manga is just different from live action, real theater. And when you watch the live action shit, it's just, it makes you become grounded again. It just puts you back in reality. So I think this is why most of the live action adaptations of anime and manga fail. It's just something that doesn't translate well most of the time. I mean, it's like trying to get a computer, breaking it down and trying to use the parts to make a car. It's just not gonna translate. You can't do it. Same with the Detective Pikachu film. Like when I saw some of the designs for like Mr. Mime / Barrier and some other Pokemon, how they're supposed to translate in real life in that film, it's downright creepy. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's crazy. And with One Piece, it's kind of the same. I've seen some comments, you know, Buggy the Clown, how he looks, how some other characters are gonna look. I guess the main characters, they're fine. I don't really know any of the actors. I'm not familiar with any of the actors. Apparently, once again, Ichiro Oda had to approve of them. If I have to give one criticism, maybe some people are gonna think I'm crazy, but Nami, the actress for her, I don't know her. I don't know the name of the actress. I can't really say anything good about her character. But I thought, man, if they're gonna do a live action for One Piece, the actress that they have to pick for Nami would have to be like a really hot chick with big tits. That's what I thought they'd want to get right at least. I don't know, perhaps maybe my mind is thinking the wrong thing. But when I saw her, I'm thinking, man, is this the best chick they can do for Nami? I mean, I guess if they're basing this on like the East Blue, you know, the start of the One Piece manga, you know, Nami didn't look like a super slut as she looks now. But I did think they would try to go for that sexy approach. Anyway, that's probably the least important aspect of the adaptation. Nami being mega sexy. I think that's all I got. I mean, I don't think this is something that I'm really interested in watching. I really just don't watch a lot of live action films as it is. Never mind if they're adaptations of anime and manga or if they're not. The people that are making this are also the people that made the Cowboy Bebop live action, and that I didn't watch that, but I've heard it didn't go so well either. So I don't know how One Piece, which is something harder to pull off, is going to work out. But I mean, it's pirates. It's that in the early period of the anime where there was a lot of realism to it. You know, wasn't so much fantasy stuff. So maybe they can make it work. But let me put it this way: if someone told me, you know what, God decided there's never going to be any more live-action adaptations of anime and manga, I was going to be okay. We're not really losing that much. I mean, if this didn't happen, were people going to give a fuck? Did people ask for this? I don't know. I'm sure the people behind it are fans and they're going to try and do their best, make something happen. And hey, One Piece live action finally happening, I guess. Perhaps it's going to help it be more mainstream. Are people going to watch this and then maybe want to read the manga or watch the anime? That's the best case scenario. If people at least, even if this doesn't end up being good, they become curious and say, hey, you know what? This wasn't so great, but maybe everybody keeps saying the manga and the anime are awesome. Maybe I should check them out. That's the best case scenario for me with this live action, to get more people in the actual One Piece series. Anyways, guys, these are my thoughts. To summarize once again, don't expect too much from the One Piece Netflix series, but hopefully is at least average. It's kind of sad we gotta say this, but as long as it's not a disaster like Dragon Ball and just mega shit, then maybe it's gonna be something. Sabro94, subscribe to my channel for my usual TCG videos, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What-ay?